Welcome once again to Jazz Lockdown, the program that puts our regular panellists of Pete Long, Alan Barnes and Alex Garnett to the test. You are invited to donate as little as £1 towards each show, which will be equally divided between the contributors, with 50% of the total amount going to Macmillan Cancer Support, by following the PayPal link below. Chaired by Alyn Shipton, this episode's special guest is Claire Martin.
So welcome to Jazz Lockdown number 5, and we have a very special guest with us today, Claire Martin. Hello, Claire.
Hello, hello, guys.
Hello, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Yeah, so we also have our regular panellists. We have Pete Long.
Hello.
We have Alex Garnett.
Hello, sir.
And we have Alan Barnes.
Hello, folks.
Now then, we're going to start today with Alex. So, Alex, your first question. Which quartet dealt with the wrath of Khan?
Oh, that's an interest. That's it's a narcissistic question. That's the Steve Fishwick, Alex Garnett, or maybe it's the Alex Garnett, Steve Fishwick quartet, which was dealing with a friend of mine. He's a bass player now, but he was formerly a tenor saxophone player by the name Mike Kahn or Michael Kahn, and it's called Martian Time Slip, the album.
Yes, and it's Martian with an SH, isn't it? As opposed to the old space beings.
Well, actually, it's a bit of a double take. The album cover was a bit of a nick of Time Tunnel, which is a 60s kind of sci-fi thing. But the title is actually obviously for those in the know based on Warren Marsh, the incredible tenor saxophonist from the combo with the Tristano group.
Yeah, I think that's all 8 puns dealt with in one sentence. Let's move on. So, which handful had Delusions of Grandma?
Oh, that was another one of mine. Yeah, out of my total of 3 in the last 30 years, which is the Bunch of Fives.
That's right.
Fives. Andromeda. Yeah, Delusions of Grandma. Yeah,
that was the title.
Good album that was.
Oh, thanks.
It was.
So now it's Pete's turn.
Oh,
so,
my.
Pete, who was standing on the corner, twirling his diamond-studded gold chain around his finger, enumerating the various conditions of ways for someone to get somewhere?
A fictitious city slicker in Duke Ellington's monologue.
Which is called?
Oh, Pretty in the Wolf.
Absolutely. Full marks there. Which jazz organist recorded a version of Peter and the Wolf?
I'm going to have to guess, and I will say Jimmy Smith.
You're dead right. Good guess.
Yes.
So bonus point for anyone who can take it. Who orchestrated that album?
Oliver Nelson.
Well done.
Oh, yes.
So Alan, your turn now.
Barnesy.
Hey?
Yeah, quick off the bat in that little circle up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if there was a buzzer, we'd be buzzing. Right. We're going to go for Alan's questions now. So, Alan, which drummer's 1980s album were a hard drive?
Ah, yes. Tommy Chase.
The name from the past.
Wow.
Well, all names are from the past, Alan.
So, point, Lord Copper, yes.
Unless we're going to make some new ones up. The 2 albums, Hard was one, and Drive, both of which more or less summed up his approach to the drums.
Yes, I remember we booked him for the Oxford University Jazz Club, and yes, he lived up to that, absolutely. Let's move on. So, which Humphrey Lyttelton album has all the band dressed as schoolboys except for Headmaster Humph, with Stan Gregg reading something apposite?
Yes, it was called Beano Boogie, which was one of Stan's compositions. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a sexual undertone on all this. Humph had a cane out, and we were all dressed as schoolboys. And I remember Stan was, of course, a great drinker, as I was in those days with Humph's band. And he said, we're going to feature Stan playing a boogie. I said, are you sure? In the state he's in. And he said, listen, Stan can play boogie in a coma.
Oh, yes.
Well, you talked about the undertones of that album. So this is your bonus point, Alan. Yeah. Referring back to a saxophonist and arranger who was mentioned in our last lockdown, which was Kenny Graham, which of his compositions featured on that album?
Was it Fickle Fanny Strikes Again?
Absolutely right.
Yes.
And that leads us very nicely to Claire's round.
Disassociate myself from that answer, by the way.
It's just a name of a track on an album. Right. Claire, which composer and pianist is the ideal musical partner when lights are low?
Sir Richard Rodney Bennett.
Yeah. And that album was produced, that album When Lights Are Low, with you and Richard, by a member of a well-known Swansea musical family. Name one of the others and their instrument.
One of the others would be Dave Cottle, and he plays piano, amongst other things.
Yep. You can get a bonus point for the other one if you like.
Laurie Cottle, of course, bassist, and it was produced by Trixie, who's Richard Cottle.
Yeah, absolutely.
God.
Right. We're now moving on to the round called Old Stuff. So we're starting with Alan. And Alan, who topped the Melody Maker poll as Britain's top baritone player for 4 years, from 1953 to 57?
Harry Klein.
And with which US big band did Harry tour for 6 weeks in 1956?
I think that was Woody Herman. No, the other one.
It's the other one. Pete gets the bonus point there, jumping in. San Kenton. So which tenor saxophonist, clarinetist and flautist toured with both those bands, the Kenton 56 tour and the Woody Herman Anglo-American band?
It wasn't...
think
Tommy Whittle, was it?
No, it wasn't. Pete's got this one.
Oh no, I thought it was Tommy as well. So
Nope.
Henry Mackenzie?
I went off.
No,
Think John Dankworth 7.
Yeah, Danny Moss.
No.
Did Don Randall?
Don Rendell. Well done, Pete.
Right. We got through them.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't a point question, but anybody know what Don Rendell's musical dad did?
No.
Banjo.
He conducted the D'Oyly Carte Opera Company.
Wow.
And when Don was a little boy, they used to go all over the country watching Gilbert and Sullivan. So there you go. Pete, it's your turn.
Oh, crikey.
I hope the tea has fortified you. So for which member of the Ellington Orchestra made an album with strings in 1954 and then later came out under the title Moods for Girl and Boy?
Harry Carney.
Correct. Which two Ellingtonian clarinetists were good at feeding the birds?
Oh, that would be... well, it's off the Mary Poppins album, isn't it?
Yep.
Which is a filth treat. You shouldn't like it, but it's great.
Yep.
And
that's exactly what the Melody Makers said at the time.
Yeah, it's like having a whole Viennetta in bed on a Sunday morning. It's great. And that would be, I'm guessing, Russell Procope and Jimmy Hamilton.
And it was indeed. So your bonus point, what was Harry Carney's middle name? It would be good if he, it would be good if he was a werewolf.
Oh.
A werewolf.
A werewolf? Definitely not Shane.
No. I think I'll put you out of your misery.
Yeah.
Anybody else know?
No, Harry.
Howell.
Howell.
Right, Claire.
So he was Welsh. There's the thing.
Obviously, Harry Welsh Carney. Harry Carney Boyo.
Yes.
So here we go. Claire, your questions.
Yeah.
Ella and Louis recorded 3 albums for Verve in the 50s. 2 of them finds them accompanied by the Oscar Peterson Quartet. What was the third Ella and Louis full-scale album where they sang with Russell Garcia's orchestra?
It has to be, I hope is it Porgy and Bess?
It is. Which singer and pianist recorded I Loves You, Porgy on her 1958 album Little Girl Blue?
Pianist and singer, Little Girl.
Yep. Always like to start with a touch of Bach.
Oh, Nina Simone.
Yep. Nina Simone. Right. And what did the bass player on Little Girl Blue have in common with Sean Connery?
Sheila Clark. Oh no.
Flashes.
No.
I'm going to guess. He was an actor.
No, the name's Bond. James Bond.
Ah.
So it's Jimmy Bond on bass. Alex, which jazz courier became a thing of wonder?
Yes, it would be Tubby Hayes.
No, I was thinking of somebody who went on to work with someone called Wonder.
Oh, Victor Feldman.
Nope.
No. Nope, I don't know.
Malcolm Cecil.
Oh.
He went off to produced several Stevie Wonder albums, including Music of My Mind, Talking Book, and Jungle Fever.
I was misled by my thought on that album, The Eighth Wonder. Yes.
So, which jazz courier from the first version of the band had something in common with the Goons?
Which one? I had no idea.
Anybody else know?
Could you say the question again, please?
Yeah, which jazz courier had something in common with the Goons?
Is it something like with an MD on the Goon Show Orchestra or something like that?
Well, he played on the Goon Show, but he took over on the drums when somebody else was singing.
Bill Iden? No.
Bill Iden. Well done, Alan.
Oh.
And he played in the Ray Ellington Quartet, and he played under his own name on the last Goon Show of all.
Right.
So, whose band, this is your question, Alex, whose band on the last Goon Show of all in 1972, which appeared without the leader, was no longer a Wooly?
Oh, I know that too, I think.
No, I've gone.
Who's going to go first?
Angela Morley.
Yeah, absolutely. Wally Stott, as was Angela Morley. Okay, the next round's called New Stuff, and these are slightly more recent questions. Claire, I don't know if you do this one, but let's see. Which jazzy singer from Dallas, Texas, won the Thelonious Monk competition in 2015?
Which jazzy Thelonious Monk?
There's a big clue there.
It's Jasmine Horn.
Yep, that's right.
Thanks, yeah.
Which album won her a Grammy nomination this year?
I'm looking at the. I know it in my eyes. I can't say the title.
Anybody else?
Travels or Adventure. Don't know it.
Love and Liberation.
Love and Liberation.
So, your bonus point, Claire. Which singer won the 2020 Grammy for her album 12 Little Spells?
Cecile McLaren-Savant.
Esperanza Spalding.
Oh, no. Shoot me now.
Alex, it's your go now. Which young London saxophonist is a bit of a bloomer?
Is there a clue in bloomer?
Yep, the clue is indeed bloomer, which is quite hard to say, I realise.
What?
Often appears at the jam session at Ronnie's, so I thought you might pick this one up.
I think I'm thick.
Yeah. Anybody else know that one?
What's the question again?
Which young London saxophonist is a bit of a bloomer?
Is it somebody Flowers?
No, it's Tom Barford.
Oh.
Right.
Barford.
Tom Barford's album is called Bloomer. In the most recent version of the New Jazz Couriers band, Alex, up until it folded with Martin Drew's death in 2010, for half a point each, which musicians represented the two sides of Tubby Hayes' musical personality?
It was Jim Hart.
And?
It was Mornington Lockett.
Yep, well done. And your bonus question is, what's the trio that Jim Hart records with now got in common with condensation in the atmosphere?
It's the Cloud Trio.
Cloudmakers, yeah, well done.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Right, Alan, your turn. Who can we picture picking his violin up from a table which he'd shared with one of his malodorous scientific experiments?
It's got to be Sherlock Holmes.
It is. And Which British band director and arranger wrote a jazz score for the dreadful German movie Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace, which starred Christopher Lee with a false nose, and the same musician created the Cybermen theme for Doctor Who?
He was a band leader and what?
He was a band leader and director and arranger.
Oh, Doctor Who, right. Oh, Christ knows. I can't think of any of them now. Give me another.
No, there isn't really another clue. Anybody else know who scored this movie?
Wasn't Enid Blyton's brother Carey, was it?
Sadly not. No, it's Martin Slavin.
Oh, well.
I wouldn't have got
And I got that from a book. This is your bonus question, Aaron. I got it from a book called Sherlock Holmes on Screen. Any idea who the author is?
Yes, the author was Alan Barnes.
Absolutely correct.
A man, because I wrote the Sherlock Holmes suite, and I sent him an email saying, isn't it odd that we both called Alan Barnes?
Wow.
He was most unimpressed.
Have you
Anyway,
ever received any erroneous checks?
erroneous checks, wasn't he a pianist?
Pete, it's your turn now. So which big band made a special recording of Duke Ellington music as a giveaway for the Brooks Brothers clothing chain in 2003?
Crikey. Was it the Lincoln Center Orchestra?
It was. Well done.
Hey,
Which big band presented a recreation of the 1938 Benny Goodman Carnegie Hall concert on its 2018 anniversary, featuring the clarinetists Annette Cohen, Janelle Reichman, and somebody called Ken Peplowski in the role of Goodman?
Was it the Lincoln Center Orchestra?
Funny you should say that. That's right.
Oh.
In 2003, which big band recorded a full orchestration of Coltrane's Love Supreme?
This is turning into Quiz Tourette. Is it the Lincoln Center Jazz Orchestra?
Yeah, it is. Well done. Full house. Right, it's the picture round now, and I promise no pictures of Winton. So, for 1 point, who is this dude?
go up a bit, it looks like.
Frank Griffith. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh,
Go up a bit.
Can't see the muzzle.
oh, Christ. Jan Garbarek.
Well done.
Good one.
Very good. Juggling my hands here to get the points and the pictures. Who's this?
Cassandra Wilson.
Yep, well done. Who is this?
Joshua Redmond.
Well done. Very quick off the button there, Alan. And finally, just because Pete was so good on this the other day, who are these two?
That's Chick Corea.
And Gary Burton.
Gary Burton, yeah.
Yeah, one each for Alex and Alan there. Good. Right.
Oh, I like
Claire,
around that.
it's your special round now.
Oh,
Hey,
So, the number of points you have to beat is 10, which was Ken Peplowski, who got a full house in
oh.
answering questions about himself.
Ah.
So, here we go. Well, it was odd because the first thing he said was, don't ask me anything about myself, I can never remember. And he got them all right. So, there we go. So, Claire, who presented 100 Years of Jazz in 99 minutes at the South Coast Jazz Festival at Rope Tackle Arts in 2018?
The Jazz Repertoire Company, which was Pete Long and
All I was looking for was Pete Long as the answer.
Pete Long. Him.
Which Russian-born bassist plays in a duo with Gwilym Simcock?
Oh yes. Yuri. Can't remember his surname.
That's half a point.
Gobbing.
Didn't like the food of the festival. Him.
Yuri Gulubev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of that.
Yeah, I've given you half. Which musician did Dave Gelly describe in The Observer as one of the most stylistically flexible pianists around, with a marvellous, slightly husky singing voice?
Oh.
And I took that off the South Coast Arts Festival brochure.
Marvelous, slightly husky singing voice. I don't know. Pass.
Is it Leon Carroll?
Anybody else? Yeah, and Carol. Well done, Alex. Bonus point for you.
Husky. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry, Leanne.
For half a point each, Claire, who goes in with you for girl talk in silk and sequins, pinnies and rubber gloves, with help from Bacharach, Sondheim and Tamla Motown on the subject of marriage, love and kitchen equipment?
Mary Wilson and Barb Younger.
Right. Who spent the occasional evening of jazz with you and 3 Swedes?
Alex Garnett.
Yep.
That's out the bag now.
Which jazz pianist reworked Wagner's Tristan and Isolde for the BBC Concert Orchestra last year?
Julian Joseph.
Yep. Who played alto, tenor and clarinet on drummer Pete York's live and swinging album recorded in Germany in 1998?
I actually do know. It's Alan Barnes.
Dead right.
I didn't know that.
Did you get paid yet?
I didn't know. Yeah.
I get the Anorak, shall I?
In which city were the Jazz at the Key television concerts made? Pete nearly fell off his stool with excitement.
I know. Agog, I am.
Glasgow.
Yep. With which Glaswegian did you go in for a spot of bumping?
Jim Mullen.
Tell more.
And which flautist played a major role in Volunteers, the album that brought Jim back from illness?
Gareth McQueen.
Yep. That's very creditable, Claire. You've got 8.5 there.
Oh, okay.
Which puts you in second place on the special round. Right. This is the quickfire round where everybody speaks at once and I have no idea who's got it right.
Great.
So we're going for it now. So at the beginning of 1965, Bill Evans was working at Ronnie Scott's club as part of his European tour. What 2 things were very special about that engagement?
I think it was the first American trio, all-American band to play in the club. And the second thing was it was a new piano.
Yep, absolutely right. Good. During the month that Evans was there, the resident house pianist recorded Under Milk Wood with which then 29-year-old Scottish saxophonist?
Bobby Wellington.
I think Alan just picked everyone at the post there.
Wobbly Bellins. That's it.
And what was Bobby's middle name?
Oh, I know this. It's a Scottish name, isn't it?
Is it
It
Tommy?
would be.
Fraser. No.
No. Anybody know it?
Andrew?
It was Cool.
Oh, that's it.
What?
Coull, not
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So the name Cool comes from Aberdeen. Which pub in that city, taking over from the Lemon Tree, now runs regular gigs in Aberdeen?
Blue Lamp.
Well, there's a man who's played there more than once.
I can't get a gig there.
No, Alan's always playing there. In the 1950 British film The Blue Lamp, with Jack Warner and Dirk Bogarde in the cast, which film included music composed by a drummer and band leader? Who was it?
Tony Crombie?
Tony Crombie?
No.
Oh, the
The Blue Lamp?
yeah, I know this. Rabin. No, not. His dad was. He was a drummer, wasn't he?
He was a drummer.
Yeah. I recorded for him a few times. What's his
Alan
name?
Ganley?
No,
No.
I'll get it.
I think East Anglia.
Jack Parnell?
Yes.
Oh, bloody hell, I was wrong anyway.
Well done.
Which of Jack's former teachers used to join his big band on drums, performing features alongside Jack?
Phil Seaman.
Merrill.
Phil Seaman. Alan was right there. Phil Seaman made a trio album in 1968 called Phil Seaman Meets Eddie Gomez. Who was the pianist on that album?
Tony Lee.
Well done.
It
Never.
had the worst cover of any album ever.
Wow. No, I want it.
Which South London venue did Tony Lee hold a residency with his own trio?
The Old Tiger?
Bull's Head. Alan was there with that.
Boom.
Who was the left-handed bassist in that trio?
Tony Archer.
Tony Archer.
Ooh, I think that's, everybody except Claire got in with that one. I'm going to give you each a half for that.
Oh, half points. Great.
Yeah, it makes it really difficult at the end when I try and add it up. Which year did the Bull's Head open as a jazz venue?
1955?
Nope.
No,
Peter? Sorry?
22. Oh, sorry.
58,
No.
I'm going with.
I'm going
A bit later.
1959.
Yes, Alex.
Oh,
Another half
I
point.
I thought it
The price is right.
preceded Ronnie's actually, but I was wrong. Yeah.
What's the name of the Martin Scorsese movie which was filmed at the Bull's Head in 2003?
Oh,
Dogs.
Long Good Friday.
No, it's a non-fiction.
No.
Oh,
He made a series for American television, public television, and several of them were shot there.
Is it called The Life and Times of Dan Fleming?
Should have been. No, it's History of the Blues.
all right.
Martin Scorsese plays a walk-on part in which movie starring Dexter Gordon?
Around Midnight.
Night.
Cool, that was a... Yeah, I think we'll give that one to Claire, who and she and
Oh,
Alex were just about.
thank you.
Right. In that film, yes, he plays Goodley, who lures Dale Turner back to New York. Scorsese's love of jazz manifested in his first and only musical starring Robert De Niro and Liza Minnelli
New
in
York.
1977.
New York.
Yeah, Claire was there first with that one. Which male vocalist turned that title song into a worldwide hit?
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, Pete was there first with that one. Sinatra released an album with Duke Ellington in 1968, once described by a reviewer at the time as uneasy. What was the title?
Edward
Edward-
Kay meets Francis.
Edward
Oh,
Kay.
Francis A. and Edward Kay.
Francis, yeah.
You're right there.
I think it's half a point each for
Say that
Pete
again.
and Alan.
And it's very uneasy.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Apparently
The arrangements on that recording were by Billy May. Which of the Ella Fitzgerald in the Songbook series did Billy arrange for?
Gershwin.
No,
Cole Porter.
no,
Irving Berlin.
Diminished. Sorry?
Irving Berlin.
No.
Rogers and Hart.
Jerome Kern.
Gone nearly through the lot, and it wasn't Ellington, so it had to be.
Basie.
Yeah.
It's not Elton John, is it?
No, it's Harold Arlen.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what his real name was?
Harold Arlen's real name? No.
Hyman Arluck.
Ah. Why
Yeah.
did he change it?
No idea. He wrote his first hit in 1929 with lyrics by Ted Curler. What was that song called?
I've got a right to sing the blues.
No. Oh,
Later. No, that was later.
Was it?
Get Happy.
Get Happy. Right, Alan. Well done.
Alan.
Happy Talk by Rodgers and Hammerstein appeared in which 1949 musical?
Valley High.
Nope.
King and I.
South Pacific.
No.
Claire got that. South
Oh.
Pacific. Who sang it on her 1960 album Bright and Shiny?
Um,
Carmen McRae.
No.
Nancy Wilson.
No.
Della Reese.
Sorry.
I don't even know who she is.
Sarah Vaughan.
It does begin with D. It was Doris Day.
Oh, right.
Bright and
It-
shiny.
That's-
Comes fair up, doesn't it?
Brighton.
yes.
The
Well,
bright and shiny.
You can get tablets for that.
In 2011, aged 89, her last studio album entered the UK charts at number 8. Anybody know what it was called?
Rock, was it called Rock Greats or something?
No. So Doris Day, what were you thinking about at 89 years of old? 89 years old,
What, late in the day or something?
more or less. Not quite.
I've had my day.
Last days.
No, it's called My Heart.
Oh God.
My Heart.
Yes, that's the name of the album.
What?
Who wrote My Heart Stood Still?
Oh, I know this.
Read clear in the
Roger
title.
Hart.
Yeah, Rodgers and Hart. Well done. Written in 1927 for a review in London, who recorded that song in 2001 on their album You're My Thrill? Singer who recorded My Heart Stood Still.
Oh, Diane Krall.
No.
So, can you just repeat the question?
Yes. My Heart Stood Still was written in 1927 for a review in London.
Yeah.
Who recorded that song in 2001 on their album You're My Thrill?
Diane Reeves.
Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell. Trudy Kerr.
No. Shirley Horn.
Oh.
Right, nearly there. 1962, a jazz arranger and the vice president of Mercury Records signed Shirley up to that label. Who was it?
Oh, I do know that. Quincy Jones.
Absolutely right.
Hey.
I was going to say, still signing up people like Jacob Collier. 10 years earlier, Quincy just finished studying at Berkeley. Which band did he join on trumpet, which allowed him to come to Europe, aged 19?
Jazz Messengers.
Lionel Hampton.
Pete's right, Lionel Hampton.
Whoa.
In 1951, the Hampton Septet recorded Leonard Feather's Blow Top Blues. Who was the vocalist?
Yeah, sorry.
Who was the vocalist on Lionel Hampton's Blow Top Blues?
Dinah Washington.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey, well done.
She was married 8 times and died before she was 40. She was known by which title?
Wasn't the Empress, was it?
Nearly. What's a more regal version of that?
The Queen.
The Princess.
No. Pete got there. Queen of the Blues, or the Queen. In 1954, she had a hit containing lyrics about trying to find her daddy and his trombone. What was it called?
God knows.
It turns out I'm one of Christine's love children. What?
No, it's much more prosaic than that. It's called Big Long Sliding Thing.
No wonder I didn't get it.
Which trombonist nickname, reminiscent of that, is more like an instruction in Cockney rhyming slang?
Slide Hampton.
Hampton.
Yes.
Slide.
question.
Right. Well, we seem to have reached the end. And
After the watershed.
it's very close. Alex
a race
and
show.
Claire are in joint third place with 11 points each.
Yeah.
And Pete and Alan share first place
Gosh.
with, yep, they do. So there you go. It's
Gosh,
just under,
Joint second then.
Yeah, we're joint second, babe.
yes, you could call it that. Anyway, thanks everybody. That's been a great Jazz Lockdown. Thanks to everybody who subscribed to the channel and contributed a little bit to our chocolate fund and to the Macmillan Nursing appeal, which is really important. As I say every time, COVID-19 is in our attention, but lots of cancer sufferers benefit hugely from Macmillan, and this is our little bit to try and help that. So thanks, goodbye from Pete Long, Alex Garnett,
Ta-ta.
Alan Barnes,
Bye, folks.
and our very special guest. Thanks for joining us, Claire Martin.
Hooray!
Hey, thank you.
And for me, Alyn Shipton, goodbye as well.
That was Jazz Lockdown, a series of programs devised by Clark Tracy and presented by Alyn Shipton, with Pete Long, Alan Barnes, and Alex Garnett, the special guest Claire Martin. You are invited to donate as little as £1 towards each show, which will be equally divided between the contributors. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to your company next time.